ladies and gentlemen, welcome to These and This and Thou and That. And this right here is going to be a random review that's not a random review. You see, earlier on this year, myself and my friend Royston conceived an idea where we would create a series called The Monday Night Wars Relived and Reviewed, where basically he would take the old episodes of WWF Raw is War, and I would take the episodes of Nitro starting in 1995, and we would work our way through them. A link down below is to our Facebook page where these reviews are happening. And what we decided is that I could also incorporate some pay-per-view reviews into this, of course, 2 weeks after the first and the debut of WCW Nitro, a pay-per-view rolled around, and that is what we're going to talk about tonight. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as you've probably already deduced, same difference, by the title down below. I'm an idiot. You watch me. It's one of those things, isn't it? Yeah, as you can probably already tell by the title, this is going to be a WCW Fall Brawl 1995 review. Oh yes, hold on tight, ladies and gentlemen, this one's going to be fun. It is September the 17th, 1995, and we are joining the 6,600 fans on hand at the Asheville Civic Center in Asheville, North Carolina, for Fall Brawl 1995. As is traditional with WCW pay-per-views, Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain Heenan are on commentary. They run down the card, but they make a point of noting that the Giant ran over Hulk Hogan's Harley Davidson earlier on. The utter bastard. Our opening contest is one of those ones that when you go, you see it on paper, like, not really interested in that one. Is Jonny B. Bad defeating Brian Pillman in a great opener to become the #1 contender to the United States Championship. Now, first things first, you of course, I'm sure like me, you see Jonny B. Bad and just go, a great opener? Seriously? Trust me on this one, alright? Buffer does intros for this one. Not sure why, because he normally just does the main events, doesn't he? But yeah, Buffer does intros. We're not sure, but we'll go with it. Now, one of the problems with only watching WCW Nitro at this time is I didn't watch WCW Main Event or WCW Saturday Night or whatever it was called. So storylines were evolving that I didn't know about. There's been 2 Nitros. This match wasn't mentioned on either of them. There we go. Lovely mat work from both men. It's so damn pretty. It's crisp. It's smooth. I'm not sure how, but Jonny B. Bad is slightly bust open during it. Literally, my only complaint about this is that one lovely, crisp, gorgeous submission move will focus on the arm, and then the very next one will focus on the leg. It's one of those ones that I just make up. Really? Really, though? I mean, actually, really? What is it? Go on. 2 vents on the spin. Fuck. Ambulance. What else would it be? So, right. So, later in the match, Pillman starts to heal it up because they both act wrestling as babyfaces at this point. So he bites Jonny, who comes back with a springboard leg drop for 2. He puts on a chin lock because he's, oh wait, no, hang on, he's not evil. So he uses a 10 count to get some sympathy. Works to some degree. Brian is suplexed to the outside, fortunately landing on his feet instead of his back. Bad follows with a springboard splash. With 4 minutes of the 20 left, he goes up top, but is drop kicked out of midair for a really nice 2 count. Bad gets 2 off a sloppy looking set out bomb, if not a pom, that'd be crazy. But then Pillman comes back, one of those from out of nowhere, just didn't see it coming, tombstone pile drive that made me jump out of my seat. Fucking great. Brian wants a tornado DDT, but is countered into a nice armbar by Bad. Pillman hits a Russian leg sweep into a seated abdominal stretch. Beautiful. With 30 seconds left, Bad gets a facebuster, and then the Tutti Frutti punch gets 2 as Pillman grabs the ropes. He gets a flying lariat, and then for 2, and then the time runs out. And we have a draw. Or do we? Because it's an contenders match, we have to have a winner, so we go into overtime. We brawl outside where Jonny B. Bad is whipped into the rail. Inside, Pillman gets a top rope dropkick, and this time it's Bad who gets kicked out of midair. Pillman gets a sleeper. Bad counters in 1-2, which Pillman suplexes out of. Pillman wants a superplex, but is countered into a fucking perfect, I've got written in my notes in capital letters, sunset to flipper for a great near fall. This was a genuinely brilliant, that is the win. Certain of it, win. Near fall. Bad wants to set a bomb again, but Pillman counters into a snap rana for 2. A crucifix is countered by Bad. We go up top where Bad gets a sweet snap rana for 2. Pillman gets a perfect tornado DDT off Brett's rope for 2. He heads up top yet again, but gets cropped by an absolutely knackered at this point Bad. He's launched to the outside, landing face first on the guardrail. Bad gets a poor looking somersault plunger. He wants a springboard splash, but eats knees for 2. Brian. They do look similar, don't they? Brian gets a fucking silly looking suicide dive to the outside. Silly because he's so far away. Like, Johnny Bad's fucked off up the entrance ramp, something like that. And it's one of those, no, don't try this. You will not hit it. And he goes for it, and he does hit it. And you're like, God, Jesus Christ, how did he actually get that? Runs a springboard dropkick, crotches himself, Cobra gets 2. They both want to do a crossbody, they jump into each other. But it's Bad who gets the crossbody, Bad who gets the cover, Bad who gets the win at 29 minutes and 14 seconds. Holy smeg, this was a long ass match. But, lads, I went into this match with the lowest of low expectations, genuinely were. But it was so good. Really good storytelling. Breathtaking pace, some great spots, didn't mind the length in the slightest, genuinely didn't mind that this one lasted the best part of half an hour. It really, genuinely, surprisingly good opener, and it's all downhill from here. Gene Mean is with Ric Flair. He talks about his friendship with Arn Anderson and their match that they're having later on tonight. And as I say, all downhill from here. So Sergeant Craig Pittman, whoever the fuck he is, defeating Cobra in a nothing match. Cobra is an army man. Tony tells that he's part of the US Special Forces, which is meant to make me care about him or something like that. After he makes his entrance, some guy comes out to tell Cobra something. He starts berating Cobra about something, and then Pittman repels from the ceiling for reasons. This match, lads, lasts 1 minute and 22 seconds, which means that the entrances last 3 times longer than the match. A code red arm breaker gets the win for Pittman. Yay, I guess. And then, lads, we get a moment that I've read about in like books like WrestleCrap and shit like that and seen online, but I've never actually seen and didn't actually notice from this pay-per-view, as we have a Paul Orndorff, Gary Spivey segment. You see, Paul Orndorff is Mr. Wonderful, but he's had a couple of big losses recently. He doesn't know if he's Mr. Wonderful anymore. He's chilling in his room. I say he's chilling. He's smashing stuff up. He keeps saying the same, I don't know if I'm Mr. Wonderful anymore. It's like, you see, it's your nickname. You can't just stop. I don't know. Anyway, Gary Spivey of the Psychic Companions Network appears with I can't describe what he looks like other than that he looks like he's got a fucking sheep on his head. It's one of those wigs that you look at going, is that a wig or is that a hat / helmet? I actually can't decide. Paul says to him, how did you know, sorry, Gary Spivey's like, I heard you were in trouble. And Paul Wonderful's like, Paul Wonderful's like, how did you know that? I had a vision. Like, well, that makes sense. And then, he convinces him that he actually is Mr. Wonderful. This is so bad. The whole thing is on YouTube. Please go and check it out if you don't believe me. This angle is so damn good. So good that Mr. Wonderful retired very, very soon afterwards instead of having to do more of this. Next, DDP defeated the Renegade in a piss-poor match to win the TV title. Yes, Renegade, if you're wondering, is a fake Ultimate Warrior. He was brought in by Hogan as an ultimate surprise, and it's one of those, as soon as he said, I've got an ultimate surprise, everyone expected the Ultimate Warrior, so when this jobber came out, it's one of those, who the fuck are you? He's been TV champion since June, having defeated Arn Anderson, of all people, for the championship. The fans truly didn't, and indeed don't care about this guy in the slightest. Page has some guy called Max Muscle with him, as well as his truly ridiculously hot wife, Kimberly. She's so damn hot. She holds up a scorecard. When DDP hits a move, she holds up a scorecard, which is funny, and she doesn't seem to like doing that. So, as Renegade is meant to be the Ultimate Warrior, he no-sells well everything. In a comedy moment, and genuinely, this is the highlight of the match. DDP is knocked to the outside. I think he bounces off the guardrail on the outside. He staggers about, doesn't know where he's going, and walks straight into the ring post. That's funny. That's the highlight of the match. Page and Muscle clash, right? So Renegade does what anyone would do and leaps off the top rope onto Muscle instead of DDP. That, of course, leaves him wide open for a diamond cutter, which gets the win and the championship and makes him look like an utter goon at 8:07. Kimberly isn't very happy about this match. It wasn't offensive or anything like that, it just wasn't very good. I'm a nice guy and I'm going to go half a star. Harlem Heat defeating Dick Slater and Bunkhouse Buck in a meh match to win the WCW Tag Team Championship. So the one going into this one is that Harlem Heat have Sherry Martel with them. She obviously looks absolutely stunning. She's been trying to seduce Colonel Rob Parker, who is the heels manager, for some time apparently. They don't explain why she is, she just is. Stevie Ray when he's making his way to the ring. You might have to help me out with this one. If you're an American, you might be able to help me out with this one, okay? Stevie Ray says it's on like a neck bone as he makes his way to the ring. And I have no clue what that means. It's on like neck bone. Is a neck bone on? Does a neck bone being on signify that it's particularly good? I just don't know. I just don't know. Booker plays your face in peril in this match for what feels like an actual ice age. The crowd are as uninterested in this match as it is possible to be. Don't get me wrong, the heels distract the ref, they tag in and out quickly, and of course their manager interferes as well. So on that front it is your generic tag match. It's just that the beatdown lasts so fucking long. Mild tag, and it is to Stevie Ray. I just need to point this out. I know it doesn't really need saying, but I just do like to throw it in from time to time. Really, the poorer of the two workers was Stevie Ray, wasn't he? But anyway, fuck anything that he does, any hot tag, anything like that, fuck that, because the main event tonight is a War Games match. Might have been a good idea to mention that before. And anyway, the point is, War Games, 2 rings. So in the other ring, while the hot tag's going on, and beats for Buck and all that, in the other ring, Sherry and Colonel Parker, are getting it on. And the camera focuses on that instead of what's happening in the other ring. So it's one of those, some stuff happens and that's nice. Then the Nasty Boys come out and take out Slater with their boots so that Booker T can cover and win their 3rd tag team titles at 16 minutes and 49 seconds. Parker doesn't give a fuck in the slightest that his charges are off the belts, as he's got the girl. His charges are completely unimpressed because their manager was making out with a woman instead of trying to save them, and then Heat are not impressed because Sherry's making out with Parker. Let's go 1 star, because we are nice. This is way too long. The titles feel like a secondary story compared to what's happening with Parker and Sherry. Oh, and if you're wondering, earlier on in the night, as part of the main event, the American males had beaten the Nasty Boys after Slater interfered. The American males. Is the American males... yeah, it's the most generic tag team name I've ever heard. Because, think about this one, half the population of America is men. What makes these 2 goons any different, other than the fact that they are, well, they're American and they're male? That's the description. What does that say about your tag team? We're American. Yes, you are. And we're men. Like, yes, you are. And what makes you special? We're American men. Fucking Bagwell. Gene Mean is at the top of the entrance as Buck runs down Parker. Parker says he's serious about Sherry, but he will get his charges another tag team title shot, which again is a really dumb thing to say, as I'm pretty certain that they get an automatic rematch as part of their championship loss, do they not? That's one of the deals. When someone loses their tag team titles, they get a rematch clause. That's how this one works. We get a Halloween Havoc advert. That's the next pay-per-view, if you're wondering. There's 85 minutes left of this show, and there are 2 matches left. That's going to be interesting. What are they going to do to fill the time? The commentators talk about the coin toss in the main event, which always happens with War Games, I'm sure you know about that. And then we pass back to Gene Mean, who's with Arn Anderson. Gene shows us a video package showing the history between Flair and Arn Anderson, which is really quite good actually. Condenses their recent history because the Horsemen had got back together in 1995. Showed loads of stuff about that. Basically, the short version is Arn is vexed because he feels that Flair was using him to keep the title all these years, which essentially was true, was it not? It's like the Triple H Evolution thing, isn't it? They respect the hell out of each other, so they're going to have to settle their differences like men. Good stuff. Now, next. Arn Anderson defeating Ric Flair in a fucking great match. Got to say, this one, genuinely really do like this one. So, awesome touch number 1. Flair, when he makes his way to the ring, instead of being all cocky and all arrogant and all, well, nature boyish, he looks like he would rather be anywhere than here at this moment in time. He doesn't want to do what he's about to do. Okay? Awesome touch number 2 is that they show a load of the WCW wrestlers at ringside because they want to see this. They're all emotionally invested in this one, including the American males, who are American, and men. Mind games from both men at the start, which I absolutely love. They both just, it's like, you know, Flair will get a slap in and do his little strut and all that stuff. Arn starts to work the arm. That might get confusing, might it? Flair gets mad at him, so Arn slaps the taste out of his mouth. Arn stays on the arm with hammerlocks, stomps, and a cross armbar. Flair eventually breaks it and goes to work on the knee, setting up the figure 4. Oh yeah. Arn counters and goes to sleeper that Flair instantly breaks, so Arn kicks Flair Don't know. I just don't know. So Arn kicks the arm, hits a hammerlock slam, then goes back to a hammerlock. Obviously, I love this, and even better, the commentators make a point of pointing over how the Andersons used to break arms back in the day. That is fucking great. Even better than that, Tony Schiavone makes a point of bringing up that Arn Anderson is Ric Flair's cousin, which is something they mentioned back in the original days of the Four Horsemen. It's in kayfabe, obviously it's not real, but that's a little touch that's like, oh, that is wonderful. Flair tries to escape. I've pressed down too far. He gets a chop in and Arn goes back to the arm, ramming it into the ring post, and then hitting a single arm DDT and running back to the hammerlock. Oh, I love it. Flair escapes and knocks Arn to the outside. Flair goes up top, gets an axe handle to the outside. So that's something we've learned out of this match. If Flair goes up top, as long as he's doing the move to the outside, it's going to hit. It's only when he does it when his opponent's on the inside of the ring that he's going to get launched off. Remember that one, folks? Oh, yes. Chops for Arn and a jawbreaker on the ropes. He gets a knee on the head and 3 complete... Flair gets 3 covers, each with Healy feet on the ropes. Nice little touch. Back body drop gets 2 for Arn. On the outside, Flair comes back with some more chops and gets back dropped again. He comes back with a suplex. Back inside, Flair gets a delayed suplex. He counters a sunset flip but misses a fist drop. Arn puts Flair in the tree of woe and chokes Flair various times. Flair goes up top but gets chucked off. You see? You see? Didn't see that coming. Arn misses an axe handle off Brett's rope and it's figure 4 time, baby! It looks like, Arn's about to tap out, and so Flair, he does 2 little things while in this figure 4's on that I absolutely love, right? He starts whacking the leg of Arn. He's punching the arm. Sorry, the leg, sorry. Yeah, he's punching the leg that's trapped in the figure 4. He's sat there whacking it and whacking it and whacking it. And it looks like Arn's about to pass out or give up or something. But then Flair does something so brilliant but so stupid at the same time. He fucking gets a big gob up and spits it into Arn's face. And that makes Arn so mad that he's easily able to turn the move over. Flair chops the leg. He comes limping over because, of course, he just had the figure 4 put on himself. Oh, such a nice touch. Tries figure 4 again. Arn cradles for 2. Arn can barely stand at this point because of the figure 4. As Brian Pillman gets up on the apron, he's shouting at Flair. Flair's like, you actually seen her? Fuck off. But then he turns around again. Brian Pillman it's like an insecurity sort of thing, and that allows Arn Anderson to get a DDT, get the win at 22 minutes and 37 seconds. Again, I didn't mind the length whatsoever because this was fucking great. A slow, methodical pace that meant that everything they did in this ring mattered and meant something. Great storytelling. I loved every single second that Arn Anderson was on the offense. Every second that Arn was on the offense, I loved. Flair's offense at this point is still very limited. There isn't a lot he can do, but it was all good. Genuinely brilliant. This was brilliant. Just because the opener, crowd more into it. Just didn't like the finish. I wanted a definitive finish between these two, and I didn't get one because I got the screw finish instead. But we'll see where this one goes. I really enjoyed that. We see a video package about the Dungeon of Doom. They are fucking awful. Then a video of the Giant being an utter bastard and running over Hulk Hogan's Harley Davidson with a monster truck. What a twat. Then the Hulkamaniacs are wearing face paint because it's war, damn it. And Hogan says one of the worst things I've ever heard on a wrestling promo, which he said, and I quote, "They've just drank several gallons of Agent Orange, so are impervious to pain." Not cool. I was just like, I watched this one just like, I had to pause it because I'm just like, he didn't just say that, did he? If you're too young and don't know what Agent Orange is, please go and look it up. It is not a very nice substance, and it's one of those, you just throw it as a casual one like that. Not cool. Gene Mean teases dissension between the team because they don't know if they can trust Luger. Can they trust Luger? While the cage is loaded, we run down the rules, and a stipulation has been added, and that is if Hogan's team win, if Hogan's team win, Hogan gets to face the Taskmaster on his own one-on-one in the ring tonight, so we might get a bonus match. Yeah! Our main event is the Hulkamaniacs, which is Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Sting and Lex Luger defeating the Dungeon of Doom, which is Kamala, Zodiac, Meng and the Shark. Okay, so Tony Schiavone starts us off with this one saying, WCW comes alive in 95. It's not a very good slogan at all, is it? Anyway, Sting starts off with the Shark for the first 5-minute period. The former Earthquake is gassed after about 2 minutes. There are 2 highlights of this one. Sorry, because he's knackered, he has to put the default big man move on, which is a bear hug. The highlights of this one is because there's 2 rings. Sting dives from one to the other. That's good, and he actually managed to do a slam on Shark. That looks great. The other highlight of this bit is that Sting puts Shark like across the ropes between the two rings and just sits there booting him in the stomach because there's no way you can escape. That's a nice little thing. But that is genuinely the highlight of this entire match, right? He wants a deathlock. The clock runs out, so in comes Zodiac. Buffer had told us during his intros that Zodiac is the man who walks in darkness and walks in light. Now, it is not a great day over here in England, but it's sunny, cloudy. I'm walking in light. What I'm basically trying to say is, does Zodiac, who walks in darkness and walks in light, doesn't he just walk in any light? So he's just a generic guy. Other than the fact he's painted black and white and says, yes, no. Rather predictably, if you've seen a War Games match, that is, of course, the heel beatdown happens when the heels win the coin toss, because they do it every single time, without exception. Okay, so, who's in second? Zodiac's in second, sorry, yeah. Zodiac's second. Macho Man evens the score, nothing of note happens. Kamala gives the advantage back to the heels, nothing of note happens. Luger evens the score, hitting a double clothesline on Shark and Zodiac. He accidentally clubbed Macho, and then there's this dissension. Oh yeah, but then Men gives the advantage back to the heels, nothing happens. Finally, Hogan is the last man, and because he's the big bad babyface he is, comes in with handfuls of powder, fucking throwing powder in every heel's face. And then he kicks, and he punches, and he gets the win with what looks like is meant to be a camel clutch, but clearly isn't. It just looks like a raging lock, and it's one of those, seriously, that's it. Oh, and guess how long this one lasts? Yes, that's right, 19 minutes. Oh, dear me. This match was a boring mess. Nothing made it stand out, nothing made it memorable, no drama, no blood, no reason to give a shit in the slightest. This was a dud if I ever saw one. But wait! Hogan's team won, did he not? So while the Taskmaster is trying to fuck off security, make him get back in the ring, and of course he gets battered all over the cage, beats and beats and beats and beats and beats and beats until the Giant appears. And then it's one of those, wow, that's Big Show. It's the same guy. He fucking leapfrogs over the fucking ropes to get into the ring. You're like, how did he do that? He chokes Hogan until the Hulkamaniacs can make the save. Ho fucking right. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two matches on this that are genuine 4-star matches that I would genuinely recommend you go and watch. So for those two matches, go and watch this show. Just be prepared to put up with at least 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 matches on this that are not good. Getting what out of the 4 matches I've got on my star ratings, I've got 1.5 stars for the 4 of them. 2 of them which are duds. So I want to say that 3 out of 10, because of the 2 4-star matches, 3 out of 10 seems very, very generous. So I'm going to go with 2.5. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Between us, myself and Royston are going to be looking at the Monday Night Wars in written format, all right? And I will do the pay-per-views as videos. Okay, so I don't know when the next one of these will be, but I'm hoping we can get at least a review up every couple of weeks, something like that from now on, because we've had some technical difficulties and it's been finding the time to do everything, but I'm hoping from now on in we can start getting a lot of content out. All right, so check out the link down below for our Facebook page. That's where all the reviews are going to go. We're also working with Across the Pond Wrestling, who are big friends of ours. Yeah, I really genuinely hope you've enjoyed this, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Mark P. This has been a Fall Brawl 95 review. Genuinely hope you've enjoyed this, and if you want to see more, let me know in the comments. What did you think of this show, though? I'd love to know as well as that. Hit me up on Twitter, check me out on Facebook. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Mark P. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, guys.